Rav Moshe Feinstein has a tremendous leniency regarding laning the Megilah. There's a general halacha that if a person already fulfilled his obligation, he cannot fulfill someone else's obligation. For example, if a person already said a bracha on a drink, such as water, and I already said this bracha, and then someone walks in the room and asks me to say a bracha on their behalf, that cannot be done. It's the Gemara in Maseches Rosh Hashanah Chavtes. However, that's only when it comes to Birchas Hanenin, optional brachas on pleasure. However, if it's a Birchas HaMitzvah, if it is an obligatory bracha, for example, Kiddush in certain situations, then it would in fact be permissible, technically speaking, for me to recite a bracha, even though I already said Kiddush, and I could fulfill someone else's obligation. How does that apply to Purim? Very simple. Let's say I already heard the Megilah laning and fulfilled my obligation. Can I now lane the Megilah for women, just women who did not fulfill their obligation yet? So there's a whole discussion of Kol Yisrael Arivim Zeh. When it comes to Kiddush, I could say Kiddush, even though I already fulfilled my obligation, and cover someone else, technically speaking, because every single Jew is for another Jew. If my friend didn't fulfill his obligation, it's considered as if I didn't fulfill my obligation. However, it's questionable whether this applies to women or not. However, Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal has a tremendous leniency in the Shilos and Tshuvas Orach Chaim and Chelik Aleph and Siman Kuf Sadi and Dibur Hamaskal v'Nachlam Fini Staiti Bezeh. He says that it would in fact be permissible for me to lane the Megilah for women, even without coming on to this leniency of Arvus, or this halachic concept of, even though I already fulfilled my obligation, I can still cover the obligation of someone else. Why? Because when it comes to laning the Megilah, reading the Megilah, there's a concept of Persumei Nisa, which means publicizing the miracle. And therefore, it's considered that even though I already fulfilled my obligation, I could still publicize the miracle through reading the Megilah for someone else. That is the tremendous leniency for Moshe Feinstein Zatzal, that even though I already fulfilled my obligation from the laning of the Megilah, from the reading of the Megilah or hearing it, nevertheless, I could read the Megilah for women and they could still fulfill their obligation because of that.